Now, Nigeria Stock Exchange has launched the Alternative Securities Market for emerging businesses. It will serve as a platform for the listing of small businesses, and earlier I caught up with CEO Oscar Onyema and started by asking him what the NSE hopes to achieve with the launch of the ASEM.
The ASEM launch is really targeted at small and medium enterprises that are interested in accessing capital markets. What we've done is to change our listing rules to introduce new things such as designated advisors, growth ambassadors, and institutional services to help them be better businesses, because we want to support good businesses on the exchange. So today what we've done is to bring in a group of companies that meets the definition of small and medium enterprises that also have what it takes to be listed on the stock exchange. At the end of the day, what we're really interested in is to help companies to be the next growth champions in the African continent, what we call the African champion.
Yeah. I think you've already mentioned some of the elements that make this different. I know we used to have what was called the second-tier securities market, but there are some elements about what you're doing this time that makes this a little different, particularly with the concept of designated advisors to help some of these companies get listed. Talk us through the thinking around that.
Well, the thinking around it is that we noticed that a number of the companies that were listed on the second-tier market, I don't like using that term.
It's not a good word, I agree.
Had challenges meeting our post-listing standards. Good corporate governance, reporting of financials, and the like. So what we did was we said, okay, let's get designated advisors that are market professionals, that are members of the exchange, that will work with each listed company in the ASEM market to meet our post-listing standards and also to help themselves be better businesses. It is mandatory that every company that's listed on the ASEM board will have one designated advisor at the minimum.
Right.
And that advisor will stay with them throughout the duration of their listing. And once they graduate to the main board, they don't need to have a break.
Okay, so it's really like for emerging companies that would eventually graduate to the main board. So in the context of getting new companies listed, can you just give us an update on that? When we spoke last year, you did mention that you were hoping that about 20 companies will be listed. We haven't quite seen that yet. So are we getting closer to that? How many more companies can we anticipate?
When we spoke last year, the numbers we gave you were for last year.
Right.
And a number of factors affected the ability of companies to list, even though some of them publicly announced that they were going to list and then ended up backing out. The secondary markets have been strong year to date. I believe the year to date numbers in terms of growth is over 17% for the NSE All-Share Index. So we think that the confidence level is getting there, where you begin to see fresh companies coming to the marketplace. Typically, you will see existing companies doing capital raises, secondary capital raises. Owando had a successful oversubscribed rights issue.
Right.
We have the UAC REITs that promises to be oversubscribed as well. So we're beginning to see exciting things that should give the confidence that is needed for fresh companies to access the marketplace. At the end of the day, the companies that have indicated interest in listing on the exchange really are looking for the right valuations.
Right.
And I believe that once they find valuations that they believe are good for them, you should see them in the marketplace, because most of them have already gone through some of the things that they need to go through in order to qualify to list on the exchange.
Okay, so talk us through what next. I mean, ASEM is now happened. What is the next big thing for the stock exchange? I know you have quite a few programs over the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, for this year, we've put out a robust list of things we'd like to deliver. We've already delivered retail bond trading platform. We delivered the iPortal, the portal for issuers to submit financials in an electronic.
Which is already working. I've seen that impact already.
3% usage rate. Today we've launched ASEM. We hope to see a lot of activity there. The next big thing, I would think, is third quarter, the launching of a new trading platform.
Yeah.
Between now and the third quarter, we hope to roll out a number of things, but there will be ongoing things, new companies, ETFs, and the like. But at the end of the day, we are not just doing launches for the sake of doing launches. We are really looking to put in place a very robust market infrastructure that supports capital raising, that supports the creation of durable wealth for both issuers and investors.
All right. And final point will be if you can just clarify the position around data dissemination. I think there's a little controversy on that point. We saw the stock exchange put out some new rules on that, and we saw quite a few companies back out in circulating data. We've seen quite a few of them now circulating data again, so I want to get a sense of where we are on that policy.
What we realized after we rolled out that policy was that there was a lot of confusion in the marketplace, and we thought we needed to do a lot more education. So we've given out a moratorium up to June to enable us go back and talk to all the stakeholders, especially the broker-dealer community. But really, if you look, we belong to FISD, which is part of SIIA. It's a body that puts together, if you like, standards around market data distribution.
Right.
And it's very unusual to have people redistributing your data without having some kind of contractual agreement with you.